when you went through your story, you told me, you experienced so many different lifestyle.
Yes.
Right?
It's very unique, actually.
Very unique lifestyle.
I've looked at my life. I'm like, damn, I live a life.
Right?
One hell of a life. Yeah.
One hell of a life.
And I got so much more to go.
Yes. Yeah. And you have accomplished so many different emotions, up and down, strength, self-love, lots of different things. I want to ask you, for your happiness, is money and wealth, how much of a role can play in that scenario?
My God. That's changed too. I think...
I want to know Toni today, what she thinks.
Toni today. I think money and wealth is very important. So what we need is financial literacy. And what we need is a different relationship with this thing called money. When money, too, is an energy. It's a form of energy. When I buy this phone from this person, I got a phone. This is also an energy, but I gave you money for it. That's also an energy. It's an energy exchange. Everything is an energy exchange. And money actually is a beautiful thing if one can detach ego and greed from it. If you remove ego and greed from money, it can do wonders. It could do beautiful things. First, the most important, you're self-reliant. You're not a burden on another person. You're not a burden on the government system. You're not a burden on others. That's a beautiful thing, to be self-reliant. You can gift. You could do charitable things. You could give it. But one thing is, if the wealth is held by a right person, it stops it from going to another person with wrong intention with that money.
That's beautiful. Do you see yourself like a funnel that like all these people that can benefit from, because you are this person that can bring this wealth, and like imagine all the employees that you have, imagine all these people that are depending on your imagination, on your creativity, on the jobs that you create. Do you see yourself like that funnel that attracts money and wealth and basically distributes?
I don't know. I think that's like glorifying a little bit too much, but I'm very grateful. Sometimes I wonder, is like, why have I been chosen to receive this much gift in my life? And the only answer is that I'm just a custodian of it. We're all gonna pass away, and when we leave this body and go to that other world, wherever that is, we're not taking any of it with us. Like none of it is coming to. This body is basically gonna return to soil. That's what happens.
Correct.
You decay and you become soil. And everything that I have with me right now stays in this world. So I'm just a custodian. Like I'm just borrowing it while I'm on this planet, on this earth.
I know you're also a very spiritual person. Do you think your soul chose this?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. You chose this life.
100%.
Okay.
100%. I trust my soul 1,000%, 1,000,000%.
Okay.
Like my soul knows exactly what she's doing.
There. Toni, give me a book that helped you to be self-aware with your, like, getting to know your soul, getting to know yourself, and how to do self-love.
I don't think it's a book. There's so many great books that are out there. I don't think it's a book. I could do like book recommendations, of course, but it's really meditation.
Really think
Yeah,
so?
yeah.
Meditation, and then how you stayed by yourself so long. It just
So when I was younger, I'm the last one in the family. And then my brothers and my sisters are 4 years older, 4 years and 3 years older than me. And at, right now, for 3-4 years older, like age difference isn't that much, but when you're younger, like that 3-4 years is a huge gap. So none of my older siblings wanted to play with me. So I was, because I'm like a little baby to them, so they don't want to play with me. And both my mom and my dad were busy, so I was left alone a lot. Or in the care of an elder person. So I think I subconsciously observed a lot of the conversation the elders were having, which is like pure knowledge, right? And I spent a lot of time alone. So I read a lot. I sat around and I just imagined a lot. Lost the train of thought here for a little bit.
Okay, I can ask more questions. Yes. I can bring you back.
Where was I? I went into my La La Land again.
Toni, what would you tell to your 17 years old Toni?
What do I tell my 17-year-old, not an 18-year-old self, 17-year-old self?
Yeah, 17.
To go with the flow, I guess going with the flow is the most important, because what's going to happen to you is going to happen to you, amor fati, love your faith. It seems like a very passive way of a lifestyle, but it really is not, because seriously, you can't avoid what is going to happen to you. So just let things happen and know that things are going to flow through your life. It's the yin and the yang. There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, but just go with the flow and enjoy every ride and learn from the mistakes, and continue to grow.
Very nice. Toni, if like sometimes I see a life like a Disneyland, and I feel like everyone comes to this Disneyland and everyone's supposed to leave, or like let's say we are all dying at night, but everyone is supposed to leave the park at night.
Yeah.
And this park has all these rides, and some of them are scary, some of them are not, some are like kiddie rides, whatever. We have all kind of rides there. Or you can sit and watch people going through rides. What would you choose to do? What ride you will go on? Like, what would you do the whole day?
I love that. Comparing it to the Disneyland. Yeah. I love that. I think I am going to get on the ride that is a little bit scary but exhilarating. And I would stay off the ride that would make me dizzy and nauseated. Because when you feel nauseated, it comes from your stomach, and that's where your soul is, so I don't want to do that. I think I would just try to get on as many rides as possible, because I like the experience of it. I like the experience of it.
Very nice. I like that. This is why you're a brave woman. Also tell me about intuition, because you mentioned something and said your soul
is here.
And like we all have that intuition that sometimes is so hard to trust, because me myself, sometimes I get a mix up between my intuition and my past PTSDs or past trauma or whatever that have happened. So now I'm like, how am I going to be trusting myself? Am I trusting my past experiences, or am I trusting my intuition? How do you trust yourself?
Oh my God, I know. Okay, so over and over again, it's been proven over and over again. My first instinct has always been the right answer. Always been the right answer. Like, you should have an answer within less than a half a second. Whether you like it or don't like it. Like, literally. And if you like it, if you immediately like it, there's your answer. If you immediately don't like it, there's your answer. Everything else is all your mind.
I see. There are the stories that it gets built up from your past.
Yes. And I get confused too all the time, actually. Especially when it comes to love.
I think we both suffer from the same thing. High five to that.
Especially when it comes to love. I get confused.
Don't you find
so
it the
much.
most hardest? I'm like,
Yes.
give me 20 business to build. Don't
Yes.
get me mixed in finding love. It's just
Yes.
right?
Yes. So I'm not very good at that department, but
Yeah.
I think I need to change my narrative on that department too.
Okay, this is a very good conversation. Changing our narrative in the department of love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or anything actually, because you just need to change the narrative, right?
In general, you do need,
Yeah.
but I feel like when we do stuff that love is not involved, it's so easy to make a decision. I just know the answer. Boom. And I'm not wrong.
Done.
Because somehow emotion is not involved there. It's so easy to make the decision. Like how many of those decisions base your intuition that you make the right or wrong? Come tell me.
100%.
The right, right?
100%, yeah.
Okay, now tell me you want to use the same intuition in love. How much of it works?
Clearly, it didn't work. Because
Yeah, I know.
here I am,
Yeah.
I'm turning 50 this year, and I'm still single.
Ready to mingle?
I don't know if I'm ready to mingle, but see, this is a narrative that I have to change.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
a narrative that I have to change.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't know what comes.
Yeah.
We don't know what comes tomorrow.
No.
We never
Never
know.
know. Never
Yeah.
know.
So I want to talk about dating, and I think it's a hard subject. It's a very hard
dating
subject,
is a very hard subject.
right?
Yeah.
It can be painful. You're putting yourself out there vulnerable. Like you allow someone to hurt you, and then you fall apart, you get broken, and I feel like someone comes and takes a piece of you, and like now you have to fill up that empty gap.
Yeah.
Like, and this is why people are scared of love. Maybe maybe it's harder to trust because now is you inside you involved. Tell me about your experience. Tell me about what makes you feel. Like, what happens? Like you want to meet someone.
Yes.
Okay, you
And-
want to meet someone. And then what emotion comes? How does it makes you be fearful? Like what type of stuff goes in your head?
Oh, of course. What am I gonna be fearful is I think this is a story a lot of women have in their mind is that we start thinking about the future hurt even before the relationship start. He's gonna cheat on me. He's gonna lie to me. He's gonna hurt me. He's going to do this. And a lot of the times these are all like negative things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's in our mind. But through like my healing journey and everything, like one thing I really realize is why I have failed in every single relationship that I was in, and I have a definite answer to that. Is that I was expecting an impossible from a man that I was dating or with, because I was looking for the guy to be my father. I was looking for the love that I didn't receive from my father, and I wanted to get that love from the guy that I was dating. And I'm talking about unconditional love. And what I realize is unconditional love is only from parent to their children.
So true.
And sometimes even that is conditional.
So true.
And I'm expecting a guy to love me
Wow.
unconditionally. Of course it's not
Oh
going to
my
work
god,
out.
I just got goosebumps all over.
Of course it's not going to work out.
No.
And then what I've been doing my entire life is, so I put out this note. It's like, this is how I need to be loved. Unconditional love. You're going to do and I'm like a little bit of a control freak too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is everything that you're going to do. This, like ridiculous list.
Yeah.
And of course it's not going to get fulfilled.
Yeah.
And then what I do is I abandon ship because I rather self-destruct and abandon than get hurt. This is
We have the same disease.
we have the same disease. This is over and over and over and over and over again. And so my last relationship was like 3.5 years ago. And I really took time off from being in a relationship or even dating somebody. Like, like verbally, like with girlfriends and things like that. I would always say, oh, I wish I was with somebody. I want to go on a date. But you know what? I really didn't want to go on a date or be with anybody because I just really needed to be with myself and find love within myself first.
So true.
Yeah. So I needed to be alone, be single, and not have that energy repeat.
That is so true. And I want to tell you, when I gave that time to myself, I started seeing myself so clearly. And I saw so many wounds that it was there. And just because I was going through dating, I never paid attention to the wounds that are there and why it's not working. I was only reflecting on others, and I would never sat there by myself for a long time. And I said, let me reflect inside. Let me see what is in there. And I want to give you one example. Like, I hate to go to a guy's house or sleep over there. It will freaks me out. Okay? And I'm like, and I always thought, oh, because I have so much honor or have like high ego or blah, blah. I don't know what the hell it was. Until I took time and I sat there by myself and I saw myself like this little girl that is so uncomfortable at her father's house. And all I want to do is run away. And this is why I run away from every relationship before feeling like if I get rejected or if I feel like unwanted or any of this. But I will never figure this out if I didn't spend enough time with me to just look at all the wounds, just go deep inside and ask myself why, and just be comfortable and I just face those. Now I'm like, oh wow, I have this and I have this fear, I have this kind of baggage that I have to face it and deal with it. So being by yourself, like reflecting inside, is the biggest gift that you can give to yourself. Like getting to know yourself, to start something fresh, to start like, oh, I just recognize who I am. And I want to now experience life with a different point of view, or at least acknowledging what was before and not repeating the same thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think people put too much pressure on not being single, like constantly dating and being with somebody. But I think it's a beautiful thing to be alone for an extended period of time. You get to really learn about yourself and you get to see relationships, this thing called a relationship with different color lens. And I think it's a beautiful, beautiful time and gift that you could give yourself. Correct. To be alone.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And alone does not mean lonely.
Alone does not mean lonely. For first time in my life, true, I felt fully complete.
Yeah, totally.
Fully complete. Do you think, so as a human, like, do you think it was meant for us to be with one person for the rest of our life? Is that even real?
Oh my
or is someone's belief system? Or a culture? Or someone that we would raise into is like, it's a belief that someone created it. Have you ever thought about it?
Yes, I think about it a lot. And there are some animal species that are eternally together. Nothing animal? Is eternal. I think there's a bird. I know it in Korean. It's called inkose, and because they only mate with each other, lifetime. Aren't penguins like that? I actually. There are some species of animal that they're just committed to each other. Are human like that? It's a lot. I think it's a hard work, but if it could be possible, maybe it's a beautiful thing, and it takes a lot of like work and sacrifice and everything. But the thing is,
how about if
we live for such a long time. I mean, you know, the concept of marriage and everything, like these were created how many hundreds of years ago, and people didn't live past, I mean, what was the average age?
40,
like,
50?
Not even 50. I think
Yeah,
it was like
40.
35,
Yeah,
38
4.
or something.
Yeah.
And you marry somebody at 18 and like, I don't know, like 15, 16, 17, 18 then, and you have children, raise them, da 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 da, and then after a little bit, you
Die.
go back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're living 80, 90, 100. And if you marry somebody when you're 30 and you live till you're 100,
Yeah.
70 years old together.
So I don't think like the idea of happiness or a perfect relationship should be defined like, oh, if we are together for the rest of our life,
Yeah.
then we had a happy life or we were so perfect. I don't think there is, just like that Disneyland that I said, if you want to go on like 5 different rides because you want to try 5 rides, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I think it's each on their own. Everybody, like, you know, if you want to go on a one ride and enjoy it and just want to go on it over and over and over again, it's fine. If you want to go on a 10 ride, go ahead and go on the 10 ride. But at Disneyland, there's a time limit. They close at 11 p.m.
Yes.
Do you have time to go on a 10 ride? You know?
Yes.
You'll see, the lines are long. So I think it's individual. Just don't be judgmental of other people's lifestyle, and just how about not expecting anything to be perfect, because
Yeah.
there is no such thing as perfect.
Correct.
There's never
Correct.
going to be a perfect relationship.
Yeah.
Says somebody who's
Looking for a perfect. Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm right there with you. So like, I want to compromise, but I don't want to make myself smaller.
Yeah.
Like,
Then don't.
you know, like, exactly.
Yeah.
So, very good point. Thank you so much for sharing your dating life with me.
or non-dating life.
Or non-dating life with me. But
clearly not
but
dating.
I wanted to talk about, like, if you are by yourself, you are not lonely. You can enjoy life. You can appreciate yourself. You can go through. You can go buy flower for yourself.
I could. I don't like flower though.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I actually don't like flower.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you cut it. You just kill the flower.
I never thought about killing the flower. Well, it's gonna die, but it has a very short life anyway.
It does, but
Yeah.
you know that flower too was like poked through the ground and the seed, the hard shell to procreate.
What do you like
you just
then? Then what do you
nipped
like
it.
then?
What do I like?
Yeah.
Before my love language was like gift was high on my love language. Long time ago, but it's changed dramatically. My love language number 1 is quality time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, quality time.
Absolutely.
Time is the most
Valuable.
precious, the most valuable, is
precious.
everything. So if
Yeah.
someone's willing to give me time, that's my love language.
Yeah. I am 100% there with you. If I give you my time, and if you give me your time, like, what you did right now, this is love to me. Like,
yeah. Yes.
like, I love you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Thank you for giving your time to me.
Yes.
Because I know how precious this is. What else is your love language?
What else is my love language? And then my second love language is touch. And then my third love language is words of affirmation. And then it's acts of service. And then it's gift goes all the way at the end. So, yeah.
How important is your boundaries, and how important is for you to be you? Like, can people come and change you?
Can people come and change
Or
me?
someone who you love or they love you, can they come and change you?
I've always been very chameleon-like. So I had a very chaotic childhood. I went to 13, 14 different schools. I was transferred like about 13, 14 times.
Oh my God.
In
how many
from
years?
preschool to college. So what happened was I became a very adaptable person to any new environment. So there's pros from it, and then there's cons from it. I would say about like 70% is con, and then 30% is pro. So then, but what I also learned in life is it is up to you to select what you want to keep and what you want to toss. So I just want to keep the positive and then just throw out the negative. The positives of me moving constantly and being transferred to new school and meeting new friends and just things like that is I became very adaptable. I'm like a chameleon. I could change color in any situation. I could go to a ballroom party and feel as like home, to camping with no running water is totally fine too. Like any situation you put me in, I will survive. Like you could throw me in the middle of a desert, I will come out alive.
Nice.
But at the same time, it's given me kind of a lifestyle of craving that chaos, where I almost find comfort in chaos. So if there is if life is too simple and just like organized, and like there's like if everything is working out perfectly, I like bring a hammer and I shatter it because I feel comfortable in the chaos. And I have I definitely have issues in making friends because a lot of the times I have really hard time opening my heart completely, because I always felt like when I made friends, I was always plucked away. So I'm afraid of losing friends. So I like had to have this like weird 1 foot in, 1 foot out of this like friendships. And I know it's something that I'm working on. To all of my friends whom I see this, it takes a very long time. I'm a very loyal person, but it takes a long time for me to like truly open up.
You're starting to make me cry.
Joy.
So beautiful.